Let's get to it, America, because joy doesn't just happen. You make it happen. And during the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, we're helping you make even more joy. Come get the best deals of the season with offers on select Ford SUVs and Ford Fusion. Everything you need to make the holidays brighter than ever. That's how we're making joy this season. How will you? Now, get 0% financing for 72 months, plus $4,500 cash back on Explorer and Expedition.
Help Tampa Bay revive and thrive this holiday season. COVID-19 changed lives, but so many of our families never thought they'd have to do this. Get in a long line for food. People are struggling during this pandemic, and it is overwhelming our food banks. If you're able, here's how you can help. Donate at feedingtampabay.org. Just $1 can provide 10 meals. 10 Tampa Bay, feeding Tampa Bay and you, helping our community revive and thrive this holiday season.
A late night vote, and now some relief is on the way, but it will need the president's signature first. And as millions of Americans await another round of stimulus checks, we're separating fact from fiction and helping you calculate your check. Meanwhile, a mutation of the coronavirus raising alarm across the pond this morning. What health experts are saying about how it could respond to the approved vaccines. Brightside at 4:30 starts now. Welcome into Brightside on this Tuesday morning. Countdown to Christmas is on. We're live in downtown St. Pete, showing off some of the fun festivities down there, all the beautiful lights. Thanks for waking up with us on Brightside. I'm Caitlin Lockerbie in studio with Jabari, who's decked out in his Christmas attire this morning.
I love
a little ray of sunshine.
Good morning.
I know. Talk about all this color we got up in here, right?
We kind of look like we planned this.
We
We've got
looks
a
like
little
we all
red,
coordinated.
A little yellow,
Not at all.
a little mix of the two.
We're in the holidays.
It's
that
either
little
just
elf
all the way
outfit?
black or just colors.
Jabari's our resident elf this morning. Natalie, you've got some good news for our forecast.
Yeah, we have 3 more sleeps until Christmas, right,
Yeah,
guys?
I love that.
How exciting. If you're a big kid at heart, that's how you count down until Christmas, for sure. Yeah, exciting news. The radar is absolutely quiet. Nothing to talk about as far as rain is concerned. We do have a few mid to high level clouds kind of scooting in across the region. This is going to allow us to wake up with a few clouds out there this morning, but that actually typically sets the stage for a incredible sunrise. So I bet this morning it's going to look rather fantastic a little after 7:17 early this morning. Right now, though, it is chilly in some spots, even a little bit of patchy fog up through our northern counties from Dade City, Zephyr Hills, all the way through about Hernando and Citrus counties in the 40s right now. But once you get to that I-4 corridor and everywhere to the south, even through the immediate Bay Area, that's where we're seeing a lot of 50s right now. Still, that's more than 10 degrees cooler than what you dealt with this time yesterday. So it is a bit of a cool start for some folks. Look at that rain chance picking up on Christmas Eve. We're going to talk about it in just a few minutes, Caitlin.
Well, some relief is on the way for millions of Americans after Congress passed a $900 billion coronavirus relief bill late last night while many of you were sleeping. It includes money for vaccine distribution, small businesses and unemployed workers, as well as $600 direct payments to people making less than $75,000 a year. Now, the rescue package was negotiated on a bipartisan basis. The massive $1.4 trillion government spending bill will fund federal agencies for the new fiscal year. The White House has said that President Trump will sign the legislation once it reaches his desk. So are you eligible for the next stimulus check? And when could you expect it in your account? Our Verify team checked with a ton of resources to clear up confusion.
For sources, we look to both sides of the political divide. There's this statement from Democratic leaders, that's House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Chuck Schumer, and then this statement from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Republican. We also heard from Secretary of the Treasury Stephen Mnuchin and Virginia Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner for context. First, let's verify how big are the checks and who will be eligible to get them. According to congressional leadership, adults will receive $600. You may remember that's half of what most adults received in the first round of stimulus checks. Meanwhile, you're also going to receive another $600 for every child dependent. So basically, we're saying a family of 4 with 2 parents and 2 children are going to get $2,400. But just like last time, there's an income requirement. Senator Tim Kaine telling us that the full payment is for those making less than $75,000 per year. Married couples must make less than $150,000. From there, the payment starts to decrease.
The $600 phases down to nothing at $99,000. So between $75,000 and $100,000, you'll get something. It's just that the number phases down.
Next, let's verify, when will people actually see that money?
This is a very, very fast way of getting money into the economy.
On CNBC, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said the following Monday morning.
And again, let me emphasize that people are going to see this money the beginning of next week. So it's very fast.
Let's end with two more verifies that came up with the last round of checks. First, let's verify, will these checks be taxable? This is false, according to both Senator Kaine and Senator Warner, who responded to the Verify team by email. Next question.
The folks that are getting Social Security, that's their income, will they also be getting this $600?
They will be. Yes, they will be.
From here at the Capitol, I'm Evan Koslof with your Verify.
Now, this bill is also bringing some much-needed relief to local businesses who've been struggling to stay afloat these past 9 months since the pandemic began.
That's really what we're counting on, is that money will help get us through this difficult time, help keep our employees on staff, because at the end of the day, if we don't have employees, we cannot function as an open entity.
For small businesses that need more funding, experts say smaller loans are often more accessible through community banks than they might be with big ones. We saw that play out earlier this year after many businesses were rejected from Paycheck Protection Program loans through larger banks. And those checks will certainly help a lot of people, but it's the vaccine that's getting us one step closer to normalcy. 2020 has become the deadliest year in U.S. history, with deaths topping 3 million for the first time. That's due mainly to the coronavirus pandemic that's killed nearly 320,000 Americans and counting right now. There have been more than 18 million confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country. The light at the end of the long tunnel here. On Monday, the U.S. became the first country with 2 coronavirus vaccines, as Moderna's just approved product began being distributed along with Pfizer's. The CDC said over 500,000 doses have been given out in the first week, though most of the U.S. will have to wait a while. On Monday, President-elect Joe Biden and the First Lady-elect, they got their first dose of Pfizer's shot on camera. They wanted to get it vaccinated to show people that it's safe. And today, Dr. Anthony Fauci and Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar will get the Moderna shot. More of Moderna doses will be arriving at hospitals across the country today as well. So here's a deeper dive on how many doses of both vaccines are expected to arrive here in Florida. This is according to the governor. Last week, the state got 179,400 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Another 12,000 are expected to arrive in the coming days. Now, Monday, the state received 61,000 doses of the Moderna vaccine, and another 300,000 doses are scheduled to arrive today.
I'm 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Lasser in Hillsborough County. Round 2, as the first doses of the Moderna vaccine now reach our area. On Monday, 61,000 doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine began arriving in our state. Several Bay Area hospitals will begin receiving and distributing the Moderna vaccine this week. Governor Ron DeSantis says another 300,000 doses should be arriving at more than 170 hospitals around the state today. DeSantis says his office will also release a more detailed plan for how the next wave of vaccine will be distributed. He says he wants to make sure Florida's elderly get top priority, even over essential workers.
And when you take a closer look at who's been vaccinated in Florida, well, the majority here has not been those who are older. Of the 43,000 doses given out, 11% have gone to people who are ages 65 and up. The largest age group for those vaccinated so far has been 35 to 44 years old, which includes those on the front lines of this pandemic, healthcare workers and employees in long-term care facilities. Now, as for the state's coronavirus numbers, Florida reported more than 11,015 new cases Monday, the 5th time in the last week we've topped 11,000. 8.45% of those tests came back positive. We've been floating between 7 and 9% for a few weeks now. And another 115 people died from the virus. Just over 5,500 patients are in Florida hospitals with COVID. 1,300 are being treated here in Tampa Bay. And as we look overseas this morning, reports from Britain and South Africa of new coronavirus strains that seem to spread more easily are causing some concern. But virus experts say it's still unclear whether they pose any concern for vaccines or cause more severe disease. This morning, we go beyond the headline for a look at what experts are confirming about this mutation.
Viruses naturally evolve as they move through the population. It's one reason we need to get a flu shot each year. And new variants or strains of the virus that causes COVID-19 have been seen since this all started nearly a year ago in China. A slightly modified strain can become the most common one in a country or region because that's the strain that first took hold there, or because super spreader events helped it along. The UK strain was identified in southeastern England in September and has been circulating in the area ever since. It was behind 60% of the infections in London by December. Health experts in the UK and US say this new strain seems to infect more easily than others, but there's no evidence yet on whether it's more deadly. Experts say this strain is concerning because it has nearly 24 mutations, which is a lot. Some of the mutations are on the spiky protein that viruses use to attach to and infect cells. And that spiky protein is what current vaccines target. But doctors at Cambridge say it's still too soon to know how the mutations will impact the vaccine.
Now, President-elect Joe Biden's Surgeon General nominee, Vivek Murthy, also addressed that concern Sunday on NBC's Meet the Press, saying there's no reason to believe that the vaccines that have been developed will not be effective against this virus as well. Experts followed up saying that vaccines produce wide-ranging responses by the immune system beyond just those spike proteins. Now, from that mutation to the vaccines, there's a whole lot of information coming out about the virus, and we do have you covered. You can get all of that information by texting the word facts to the number right there on your screen. You can do it anytime, and we'll send a link of information directly to your phone. We'll want to manage the mess this holiday. We'll show you which Christmas clutter is and is not recyclable.